Um, I'm going to be breaking down the fight between Victor Henry versus Pedro Falcao. This one is a bit of an interesting one because I've seen the MMA community um, is a little bit split on this one. Am I correct? I think the topology community is picking Falcao, if I'm not mistaken, whereas I've seen a large proportion of um, even the people who follow me on YouTube. It seems like they are also picking, or rather, they are picking Victor Henry. So a lot of people are using the fact that Victor Henry has looked. Twizzy Rich, what up, my guy? Welcome to the stream, man. I think Henry decision. Onyx, yo, what up, man? Welcome to the stream, man. So I'm going to be going through the fight basically. There's three, yeah, there's two more fights that I need to break down after this. So I've seen Henry has more votes on Topology. Okay. I actually thought Falcao had a bit more votes on Topology, but it's beside the point. I'm going to go into the fight in itself and how I think it's going to play out. Right. Before we go anywhere, we have to highlight the fact that Victor Henry is like 37. I don't know, somewhere around that age. And statistically speaking, this is not my opinion. Fighters over the age of 35 start to lose significantly. Once they cross the age of 40 the loss rate doubles, right? That's the first issue I have with the pick of Victor Henry. And I know that a lot of people will say, well, he looked good in his previous fight, right? Um, which is a solid point, but it's like it's like saying a regional fighter looks good as a champion, so therefore they can compete with a UFC champion. To me, it's not the same equivalency, right? And I'm not necessarily saying that Pedro Falcao is this insanely talented prospect that is going to just run through Victor Henry. That's not what I'm saying. If it's not already clear, my subscribers have picked Victor Henry. I picked Pedro Falcao. I'm not particularly confident in this particular fight, but when I look at the fight in itself and I analyze the fight, obviously Victor Henry has a lot of volume. I think Victor Henry throws probably more than twice as much as Pedro Falcao, which which is problematic, obviously, especially because if it goes to a decision, the probability is whoever is going to be a little bit more active, which is probably going to be Victor Henry on what do you call it on the feed because of the volume. Um, it might be problematic for Victor Falcao. However, on the other hand, you have to take into consideration. Shoshat McGee, welcome to the stream, man. I'm going to be responding to the comments once I'm done breaking down the fight. So we have to also take into consideration the fact that what do you call him? Bergen, what's his name? Falcao is very defensively good in my opinion. You don't have to agree with that, but his defense is good just as much as you can make the argument that well, Victor Henry throws more than twice as much as Pedro Falcao. In the same argument, I can say, well, Pedro Falcao gets hit twice as less as Victor Henry. So, sure, fine, it's fine. You can make the argument. Victor Henry is going to throw maybe 500, where when Pedro Falcao is probably going to throw maybe 300, right, strikes. But at the same time, I can say, well, Victor Henry normally gets hit 500 times, whereas Pedro Falcao gets hit like 200 or 300 times, right? So for me, that equalizes to some extent the striking exchanges, and it comes down to who I feel like will have a little bit more of an advantage as far as finishing abilities in terms of, like, for example, who's probably going to get a KO, right? And I always say this, and this is not just an opinion of mine, this is a statistical opinion, right? Once fighters go above the age of 35, um, a certain there's something that actually, oh, sorry, something weird was happening on my stream, but in any case, so for me personally, I favor Falcao as far as finishing ability on the feet, because even though Henry has volume, which I fully respect, and by the way, do not listen to me and say and think this is a confident pick. I'm not very confident in my pick of Falcao. I just feel like he has the higher probability of finishing, especially because he's better defensively, right? The only thing on the feet that I'm scared of, as far as Victor Henry is concerned, is volume. He has a lot of volume. And if it goes to decision, that's the concern I have. But as far as on the feet, for me personally, I think it's 50-50, but I'm leaning more towards Falcao because he's defensively good. And he has the power to actually find a way to land a finishing blow, mainly because Victor Henry gets hit so much. He gets hit so much. That's the big problem, which means you don't have to struggle to find your finishing shot against Victor Henry. And I feel like Pedro Falcao has the ability to actually find that finishing shot. That's my opinion. And then let's go to the grappling exchanges. And before we move on even to the grappling exchanges, we also have to take into consideration the fact that Victor Henry is 37 years old. His ability to take a punch, his endurance, okay, maybe endurance might not play into that particular situation, but his ability to take a punch is going to decrease significantly, right? Um, it's MMA, man. Like, anything can happen, but for me personally, I think the fight is going to be very even on the feet because Henry might throw a lot, but he gets hit a lot. Falcao might not throw as much, but he doesn't get hit a lot. That's the give and take of the situation. And then we go to the grappling exchanges. I think both of them are very defensively good. I think both of them are able to defend takedowns very well. Um, but when we talk about volume, we were mentioning volume when we were talking about striking as far as Henry goes. I can see a situation where Falcao shoots takedowns multiple times to a point whereby even if it's not successful, he finds a way to get Victor Henry tired, and somehow it opens up. It somehow opens up. Okay, I'll reply to everyone once I'm done, guys. So if you want me to reply now, I can't. I just want to finish up because there's a lot of things in my head. I just want to finish up. I'll reply and then before I bounce. So I can see a situation where Falcao actually spams a lot of takedowns, and gets Victor Henry tired, and then I don't know, controls him to a decision or finds a way to actually land a finishing blow. So for me personally, I feel like Victor Henry shoots twice as much as no, Pedro Falcao shoots twice as much as Victor Henry as far as takedowns. And even if the takedowns are not successful, I can see a situation where he tries to get him tired with the volume of takedowns because Falcao shoots a lot of takedowns, right? And like I said, I feel like as far as finishing ability, both of them are more or less on the same level as far as finishing ability. But I feel like Falcao has a bit of an advantage. Not so much of an advantage, but still. I feel like he has the ability to actually finish the fight more than Henry, in my opinion. But in conclusion, my subscribers went with Victor Henry. I went with Pedro Falcao. Among other things that I mentioned, one of the biggest issues I have is the fact that he's, I think, 35 or something like that, which is not good for me. So yeah, let me try and respond to your comments. Victor Henry is the favorite. This card is it's I'm either going to be legendary or people are going to come back to these videos and just laugh the living crap out of me. But I guess we'll see because I picked a lot of underdogs on this card. Let me respond to your comments and then so that I can go to the next fight and actually break it down. Um, Tuesday Rich Henry has more votes on Topology. Oh, okay. Tuesday Rich just cause of volume from Henry, but the back takes from Falcao are pretty scary. And that's what I think is going to happen. I think the grappling exchanges are going to actually, even if he's not very successful with the takedowns, I can see Victor Henry getting tired because of the amount of takedowns that are going to be shot by Falcao. Tuesday rate 75%, Henry 25% Falcao on Topology. Oh, okay, that's crazy. Tuesday rate 100%, okay. Short McGee Falcao. It's in the small cage. I'm with you, man. I'm with you, Short McGee. Onyx. Henry will take it. Okay. Not gonna dispute that because obviously we know how MMA is. Tuesday Rich depends how his cardio holds up. I'm also worried about that. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Let me see. Shukti, hello brother, how are you? I'm good, man. Welcome back to the stream. Tuesday Rich, Falcao did take it short notice last time. Yeah, yeah, I think he's going to be a little bit more prepared this time. Shukti, like, done to you, brother. Okay, Shoshat McGee. Henry is better, but old, and he does get held down. I just think odds too high for Henry. I also agree. That's why I said on the feet for me it's quite even because even though Henry throws a lot of volume, Falcao is a little bit better defensively. Um, and in terms of who I think has power, based on who has more TKO finishes or rather percentage, not just the numbers. I'm talking about who has finished most of their fights via TKO. It's Victor Henry. So I would not Victor Henry. It's Pedro Falcao. So I would honestly favor him, especially as far as striking goes. But nonetheless, let me finish responding to you guys so that I can go to the next fight. But it's old, okay. Old is gold, brother. Okay, Shubdi. Shoshat McGee, maybe. Okay, Shubdi. Okay, bye, brother. Shubdi, take care. Thank you, man. Twizy Rich. Looking through everything Falcao is live. Just got a shake of the rust. Yeah, yeah, no. I agree with that. I mean, I guess we'll see. But all I'm saying is, like, I picked so many. Social Mickey, we either get rich or go broke on this. I agree, man. And there's someone who sent me money. I need to actually reply to his email. I haven't got into it like I've been so busy this whole week. Onyx Grand or Santos. I went with Santos. The breakdown is available on the live section of the channel. Tuesday Rich, I think I'll join you. Tuesday Rich, I think I'll join you in the Falcao pick because Jordan easily outvolumed him last fight and he could for sure be declining. Yeah, I agree. Grant, the shooter box is dead to me. What did Shooter Box do to you, man? Guys, let me go. Let me go to the other stream, guys. I'm going to next. I'm going to break down. What do you call it? The fight between Martin Buday versus Uran Seti Beldiev. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but yeah, I'm going there right now. I love and appreciate all of you. I'll see you there. Deuces.